Hello there, Maverick currency traders. This is Rob Reinhold. It is December 4th. Welcome to December. We got one more month left to make some pips, and then this year is over, and we're on to the next. In this session, we're going to be going over what happened today, what were some of the news events, what happened in the equity markets. Then we're going to take a look at everything currently, rescore everything, and then, of course, the strongest go to the top of the list, the weakest go to the bottom of the list, and we pair those up against each other, and those are the trades we're looking for.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional Forex and crypto traders. Maverick Currencies is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional Forex and currency trader for Maverick, click the Apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
The market started off on a weak note, and last week when we closed the books up, this is where we were in our trend score. We liked Bitcoin, we liked Ethereum second, and we liked the Kiwi. That being said, both the Kiwi and the Aussie were in a little bit of a pullback, and we know that the RBA is tonight on Monday, so we're definitely on a pause on these two currencies until that news comes out. We had weak dollar, weak euro, weak CAD. Let's take a look and see what actually happened today. Now, on a Monday, there was not a lot of news here. We did get a pullback. The markets just started soft, and they went down a little bit, but then by the end of the day, they had crept back up and actually ended up being a green candle for the day. We did get one major news event out of Switzerland. The Swiss CPI fell. The expectations were for 0, and it came in at negative 0.2. That's definitely taking pressure off of the Eurozone and the SNB to raise rates aggressively. Let's see how that translated into movements today. As you can see, not a lot of movement overall. We have not been too excited about currency trading. There just has been very narrow moves. Like, you really have to get the exactly perfect currency cross to make any money. You can see here, if you're trading anything in here, if you were trading euro, pound, Swiss franc, CAD, there was really no movement. There was really only one currency cross of any value, Aussie versus dollar, and I was looking more long Aussie dollar than short Aussie dollar. So again, I'm on hold until the RBA comes out and until something moves here to get me more excited in Forex. That being said, we got some great moves out of crypto today, and we had Bitcoin at the top of the list. The S&P was down 0.5%. You see gold, big pullback in gold, but it's had a monster run over the last 2 to 3 weeks. Oil pulling back, but let's take a look at crypto because that's really where the action was today. And Bitcoin up 4.3%. That's a very nice day for Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash, which has been the weakest, all of a sudden became the strongest. That does not excite me one day, so we're really still on the Bitcoin bandwagon. We still think that is probably the best trade out there at the moment. So did anything change here? We have been at a +2 in this market, and I want to show you this was a down day today, but take a look at this candle. This candle is a green candle. So we gapped down, we ran down in the morning, and then by the end of the day, we'd crawl back up and close at the high of the day. This is more confirmation that there are buyers out there. If you remember, over the weekend in the currency room, I talked about how when you get price action like this, it means that there's people buying on the dips. People are sitting out there waiting for people to sell so they could buy up shares. This was a confirmation today. As we gap down, the buyers are still there. So overall, we're still very bullish in the equity markets and risk on overall, but it definitely felt like a risk off move today. We had the dollar moving up, we had the yen moving up, we had the Aussie Kiwi moving down. Definitely a little bit of a pressure off. I really like this kind of price action because what it's doing is it's telling me that we're setting up, we're taking a breath, we're taking a breather, and we're setting up for the next run. I already mentioned the CPI report out of Switzerland. What else do we have here? We've got some services PMI out of China tonight, but the big news is the RBA. The RBA tonight at 10:30. Anyone trading both the Aussie and Kiwi, definitely need to be watching that one. I'm recommending everyone sit out until after that then reevaluate and see what happens. And you can see Tuesday night, we do have Australian GDP as well. That should cause the Aussie to move as well. One last thing, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., we do have the JOLTS. The JOLTS job openings, I think, is going to be a fairly decent number. Remember, this number was well over 10 million. The Fed has said we want it down below 10 million. As you can see, we are down below 10 million and falling more and more. If this continues to fall, this is going to be good news for the equity markets. Let's go in and see some of the currencies that have actually moved. I don't want to go through all of them because we got very few movement, but let's check in on the ones that did move. On the top of the list is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin had a big run today. The question is Bitcoin still a buy? Now, the trend says yes. The daily chart says yes, it is. But we cannot ignore, we got this big expanded range candle. Remember, we really like this off of this breakout of this 1 month high base. So we have a 1 month high base. There's no reason why it can't continue to run. However, at some point it will run out of gas. And typically it starts to run out of gas after these expanded range candles. So yes, we think we are closer to the end of the run in Bitcoin, but that doesn't mean it's over. I mean, take a look here. We got this big candle here and we still had 2 more days before it really had to go sideways for about 3 weeks of time before another run. I do think Bitcoin is near the end, so if you are going to play it, I think you've got to be shorter term in nature. So here's the question. Bitcoin broke out and ran late last week. Do we have something that's looking a little bit better in crypto? I come over here to Bitcoin Cash and I don't like this chart at all. We haven't broke out of highs. No, thank you. I come over here to Ethereum and this is a little earlier on. So this is literally about where Bitcoin was 2 days ago. So I do think Ethereum is going to be a slightly better trade from here. If you're already in one, you should have wanted to be in Bitcoin and be holding that one to try to squeeze more out of it. If you're looking to get into a new trade here, I think Ethereum does give you a little bit better entry point. So let's talk entry points. We're getting this nice little pullback from the high today. Let's talk about some potential areas here. A pullback to this 2185 area would be very nice. I don't know if we get there or not. So look, somewhere in here, we have to see this thing come down a little bit more below 2200. Then I think if we get some more momentum indicators, like a RSI turning up, 13 EMA turning up, something that's telling us, hey, the momentum is coming back into it. I like Ethereum here on a buy. Trying to find a target, you can see we have not been up in this area for quite a long time. So the question is, where's our next target here? Let's take this line, bring it out here. Yeah, we don't really have anything until about 2,500. 2,500 is probably 2,450 to 2,500 is probably the next level where we're seeing some resistance on Ethereum here. Litecoin, again, I don't like it at all. It's just not the right chart here whatsoever. I want to really poke in on the dollar here because this was my favorite trade for the week, but I said you want to get in it when it's had a bounce. So here we are. Take a look at this downtrend that we've seen here. We've had a fall, a 4-day bounce, and then it fell, 2-day bounce here, it fell, 1-day bounce here. This is all we're getting. We're getting little bounces and then it continues to fall. So the question is this bounce over? Of course, I have no idea. All I can do is look at the charts and look and see, okay, probably not. This bounce is probably not over. I would love to see a move. Again, this is the dollar basket. So the dollar equally weighted against all the others. I would like to see it creep up a little bit higher, hit this 50 period moving average. So I do like dollar short, not right now, maybe in a day or two. Outside of that in crypto, taking a look at the Aussie. Remember, the Aussie was one of the ones we're looking at on the long side. It looks not buyable right now whatsoever. This is not a buyable currency at this point. We also like the Kiwi. The Kiwi is definitely looking better. Definitely looking better, but there's no momentum in it. Remember, we don't want to buy these things when they're going nowhere. That's dead money. We just rather leave our money in cash and wait for opportunities. we are getting some more decent price action on Kiwi, but you can see over the past 5 candles, 4 hours, the last 20 hours, it's been more selling than buying. We just don't want to step in and buy here. So the 2 currency crosses I'm looking at, they're just not ready right here, right now. So let's take a look at where everything stands on a velocity score. A velocity score is looking at a 4-hour chart. So what's moving right here, right now? We know the dollar has turned up today, but look, this dollar is just having a little bounce here. We think there's a little bit left, but at some point, we like this one. Let's take a look at the velocity scoreboard. Bitcoin and Ethereum are showing us the best momentum, and surprisingly, in Forex, the Swiss franc is scoring the highest at the moment. What is scoring the weakest? Euro and Aussie. So we already took a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's go ahead and take a look at some Forex setups, and let's focus on that Euro short and Aussie short against the Swiss franc. So we're going to be looking at Euro Swiss franc short, and we're going to be looking at Aussie Swiss franc short as well. Let's take a look at Euro Swiss franc. So in the Forex market, this is probably one of the better setups. And you can see we've had a big fall here in Euro Swiss franc. Just stair-stepping down, so rallies, falls. As you can see, we're trying to put in some support here. Trying to put in some support at 94.40. And at the moment, this definitely is holding. So for me, I would love to take a short up here at the top of 94.90. So 94.90 would be a great place to get short. It comes up here, it fails, starts to turn over. I'd love to get a short there. If not, I think you got to wait for 94.40. We don't want to get short here because it's just dead money. It's just dead money right here as we are, waiting. So I would much rather get it at the top of this range than try to short it here and hope and pray that somewhere in the next, 20 hours, this thing does break down. I think you're better off just leaving your money in cash. So that is Euro Swiss franc. Let's take a look at Aussie Swiss franc. So Aussie Swiss franc short. I'm looking at this chart. It's not a great chart. I'm not super excited about it. So you know what? Let's not even talk about it. Let's not even put any ideas in anyone's head. So really, Euro Swiss franc, if I was dying to make a trade here in the next 24 hours, I would be really honed in on Euro Swiss franc to the short side. But as you can tell, I am not looking to be active trading. I think there's much better opportunities later this week. We've got the payrolls report on Friday. We've got lots of time this week, so I'm in no hurry to put any trades on. I definitely want to get through RBA tonight. I'm looking to be more active Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week. We do think these equity markets stay strong. They do exactly what they do today, where it's it goes down a little bit and then it stabilizes. We probably get 1 big up day this week and 4 flat to sideways days would be my guess. That is the currency recap. Thanks for joining me. Goodbye, everyone.